With the holidays approaching, you're likely doing a lot of holiday shopping. For most of us, our budgets aren't huge. We're picking up a few cute little items for our friends and family and leaving it at that. But when you're a professional athlete with a multi-million-dollar deal, the options to spend are practically limitless. So we're breaking down the most lavish gifts athletes have given their teammates. Hi everyone, it's Devin Howard. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should definitely do that now, at Devin Howard. Subscribe to the Fumble so you're always in the know when it comes to your favorite teams. Double check that you've rung that bell, and as my present for the holidays, like this video and share it with your friends. There are many perks to being a professional athlete: a 7 or 8 figure salary, world-class training facilities, access to private jets, insane medical care, lavish hotel accommodations, the list goes on and on. But beyond that, you are also surrounded by a bunch of other people with 7 or 8 figure salaries who want to show how much they appreciate your contribution to the team. So you get gifts, lots of them. Let's get into the best gifts players have ever received, starting with Dexter Fowler. Back in 2016, the baseball star hooked up his Cubs teammates with Air Jordan 12s. In September of 2016, David Price had gifted Jordans to his Red Sox teammates. Fowler followed suit, but his takes the cake because he's a Chicago athlete supporting another Chicago athlete, and then a few weeks later, the Cubs went on to win the World Series. What's more is that the Jordan 12s hadn't even gone public yet, and they were in the team's color, deep blue. All in all, it was a pretty spectacular gift. Next up, we have Dwight Howard and the luxuries he supplied his Houston teammates. During his first season with the team, he celebrated the holidays and his friends by handing out super fancy watches and limited edition sneakers. Howard upped the price tag on gifts for the higher status players like James Harden, who walked away with an Audemars Piguet watch, while the rest of the Rockets only got Rolexes. They definitely got gypped there. Dwight gave backup point guard Aaron Brooks a super unique pair of Nike Air Mags, the same pair that Marty McFly wore in the hoverboard scene in Back to the Future 2. So that is a pretty remarkable holiday present. Back in 2014, Aaron Rodgers was due to become NFL MVP for the second time, and he decided he needed to show some love to the teammates who had helped him reach such a high level of play. So just in time for Christmas, he bought every offensive lineman, including those on injured reserve and practice squad, and his 2 backup quarterbacks, a bunch of presents, including a 55-inch LED curved TV, Beats by Dre headphones, a Samsung Galaxy tablet. It was elaborate, and the gift receivers were so appreciative of it. Not all gifts are for the holidays. For Chris Davis, he just wanted to show his appreciation for his teammates for no reason at all. Chris decided to surprise his fellow athletes with Nintendo Switches, just because he was grateful for everyone's role on the Oakland A's. He also had costumed Mario and Luigi show up to the clubhouse to deliver the game consoles. Of the present, he said, quote, "I just wanted to do something nice for my teammates. We're always supporting each other, and this is just a token of my appreciation." Moving on, just before the NBA Finals, LeBron James rented out a hotel lounge in San Francisco for a bonding party for his teammates. They were about to face off against the Golden State Warriors for the 2015 Finals. At the party, James gave out an Apple Watch to every single player on the Cavs as a token of his appreciation for everything they had accomplished thus far. He also brought out his own personal barber so that the guys could get cleaned up and look their best for the game. They lost the finals that year, but at least they all had fancy new wristwatches. Adrian Beltre joined the 3,000 hit club in July of 2017, but instead of basking in the glory of his achievements by himself, he decided he wanted to shower his teammates with love too. The third baseman hooked up each teammate with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label Scotch, which usually costs about $229 per bottle. He also gave them a high-resolution copy of the official lineup card from the game in which he reached that milestone, on top of personalized cigars. After a great season in 2017, the Astros were on cloud 9. They won the World Series, and Jose Altuve won MVP. To celebrate their victory, Jose handed over a bottle of Crown Royal XR whiskey to each of his teammates. He had 50 bottles of the alcohol delivered to Minute Maid Park. Each one came in a blue bag embroidered with the world's Each one came in a blue bag embroidered with the words 2017 World Champions, #Houston Strong. The gift is greatly appreciated by his cohorts, but it's worth noting that Jose is a sponsor of Crown Royal and basically admitted it was a paid deal with his use of #ad in a tweet about the gifts. Still, I bet the boys had fun drinking it that night, and that's all that really matters. Back in June of 2017, John Wall signed a contract extension that guaranteed $170 million. That is a huge huge sum of money. It'd be crazy to not spend some of it on his teammates. So 6 months later, he gave each and every one of the Wizards players a Rolex. Oh, and I can't forget to mention that every single watch was customized for each player. Now here's a bit of an unusual gift. Around the holidays, Carson Wentz wanted to give his Eagles teammates what he felt was a special present. A lifelong hunter, Carson would often spend his time off the field, stalking animals in the forest. He figured his offensive linemen would enjoy doing the same thing, so he went out and purchased shotguns that retail for $2,000 each. He personalized each one with the player's number engraved in the butt of the gun. It's considered a collector's item. Can't say this is a pastime I'd ever partake in or a gift I would ever want, but with this one we'll just say it's the thought that counts. Now moving on to a gift I'd actually like to receive, Kristaps Porzingis decided to give his teammates Timberlands for Christmas. But he didn't just go to the store and purchase boxes of boots. Nope, he had each one personally engraved with their initials and jersey numbers. Unfortunately for him, he ended up tearing his ACL just weeks after giving the gifts, so he got a lot more wear out of his Timberlands than I'm sure he wished he did. Todd Gurley played an incredible year in 2017. He was named the Offensive Player of the Year en route to his first All-Pro first-team selection, but of course he didn't achieve such greatness alone. He had the support and skill of the Rams behind him, and to honor the contributions they all made to his own personal success and the team's success, he bought each of his offensive linemen Xbox One X's, and with that, each player received an Xbox Live membership. His hope was for the athletes to all play against one another and keep their team bonding and friendships going, so that is so cute. One of the best gifts yet came from Cristiano Ronaldo. Real Madrid had just won the Copa del Rey, UEFA Super Cup, FIFA World Cup, and their first Champions League in a dozen years. The athletes all had a reason to celebrate. Cristiano Ronaldo was credited with leading the team to such immense victory, and because of that, he was awarded FIFA's Player of the Year award. As a thank you to his teammates, he gave each of them personalized Bulgari watches. Each one was worth about 10 grand, and what's more is they all had the players' names engraved in them, as well as CR7, Cristiano's own nickname. Nice way to make sure his teammates are forever grateful for their timepieces. Every time they look down to check the clock, they see his name. That is a very generous gift, and I'm noticing a theme here. The best gifts seem to be watches of some sort or tech gadgets, which brings me to my next present. Through week 7 of the 2014 season, Cowboys running back DeMarco Murray had a league-ending 913 rushing yards. That was nearly 300 more yards than his competitors and put him on track to run over 2,000 yards. Of course, Murray realized he couldn't do it alone, so he rewarded the guys who paved the rushing lanes for him. DeMarco gifted the 5 starting linemen with brand new Mac computers, which cost about $1,300 a piece, but that was just the mid-season gift. Towards the end of the season, after he rushed a career high of 1,845 yards and was due to be named Offensive Player of the Year, he decided to adorn not just his linemen, but 22 of his offensive teammates with Orefici watches. These guys helped him achieve his career-making year. The least he could do was deck them out with luxury watches and high-tech computers. 2014 was a big year for gifts. Tony Romo hooked his teammates up with some pretty sweet luxuries. Buying teammates expensive gifts seems to come with the territory of being a quarterback. These positions get paid the big bucks, so it sort of makes sense. Tony Romo decided to one-up DeMarco Murray's lavish gifts, and so he did, 1 week after Murray handed out those computers. Tony decided to show some love to 6 Cowboys offensive linemen and his BFF Jason Witten, and he did that by setting them up with Louis Vuitton travel bags. Those designer bags are worth $16,000 to $24,000 a piece. The guys were able to show off their luxury packs on their team's trip to London for the NFL International Series. Each bag also came equipped with a London travel book. Perfect timing. Sometimes players like to show their appreciation for their teammates even when they're not having a good season. Chad Johnson's single season with the Patriots wasn't very impressive. He barely saw the field and set career lows in all stats, even though the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. Despite not performing his best, he wanted to make sure his teammates were feeling good before the big game, so he went out and bought every single teammate a pair of Beats by Dre headphones, which cost about $400. He had to fork over 28 grand to give his fellow Patriots some quality headphones. It was a bittersweet week for Chad as it marked the last game of his NFL career. Joe Flacco Flacco got a reputation for always hooking his teammates up with awesome presents. During his time in Baltimore, he gave the Raven linemen, starters, backups, and practice squad players each a virtual reality system. The high-tech futuristic gadgets are $3,000 a piece, so he dropped $42,000 on making his linemen feel special. While most athletes gift their fellow teammates, Von Miller decided to show some love to his opponents. Just before Christmas, he sent every opposing player in the AFC West, including practice squad guys and those on injured reserve, a bottle of custom wine and a thank you note. That could be the ultimate way of getting into the other team's head, or he could have just been genuinely grateful for the opportunity to compete against them twice a year. Seems like a pretty nice move. Now let's get back to basketball. Kobe Bryant had a notoriously tense relationship with his teammates throughout his entire time in the NBA. Let's not forget how he feuded with Shaq and even made another teammate cry after he told him to reconsider playing basketball. But towards the end of his career, Kobe decided to try and make things right and leave the NBA on a positive note. So before the Lakers played a preseason game in Vegas, he threw them a party at the MGM Grand Hotel and let them have a ton of fun on his dime. He met everyone there with a helicopter and basically told his teammates to ball out at his expense. Okay, now we're going way back in time to 1994. After a decade of traveling on the Chicago Bulls private team plane, Michael Jordan was forced to take the bus when he played minor league baseball with the Birmingham Barons. But the athlete was used to a little bit more luxury, so to make sure he and his teammates could still travel in style, he bought them a freaking team bus. The $350,000 team present had 35 seats, 6 TVs, and a VCR, which back then was pretty sweet, and it had a lounge in the back. Even after leaving the team, MJ let them keep it. In 2007, the Patriots had a stellar season. Brady broke the NFL's passing touchdown record and won his first league MVP. To honor their remarkable year, he supplied his linemen with Audi Q7 SUVs. But there was a catch. The guys could only keep the cars for the 2008 season. Still, it's a pretty awesome gesture. Now let's get back to the present day. In mid-April of 2019, Russell Wilson signed a $140 million extension, resulting in him becoming the highest paid player in the NFL. A week later, he gave up 0.1% of that cash by buying 13 Seahawks offensive linemen Amazon stock. Each player received $12,000 worth of stock from the online retail company, which means Wilson threw down $156,000 on his fellow Seahawks. And then finally, to wrap up this list of incredible gifts, Dez Bryant forked over $55,000 on a dinner tab. He had the first round contract and made the most, so even though he and his rookie teammates were supposed to split it, he ended up paying for the whole bill. The story behind the elaborate dinner bill is this. Many Cowboys players reportedly wanted to get back at Bryant for violating rookie code. He refused to carry his teammates' pads after practice, so when they went to dinner, they went all out, ordering the most expensive steaks and desserts, plus 15 shots of a rare liquor, which amounts to about $1,700 per piece. Luckily, Bryant's $8.3 million guaranteed money made this expensive dinner bill a small drop in the bucket. So there you have it, people. When you hand your friends a bottle of $2 Chuck or a $10 mug, remember that athletes are dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars on their teammates for a freaking holiday. Which gift on this list was the craziest to you? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, and give this video a like. I'm Devin Howard on Instagram at Devin Howard. Thanks for watching.